Hey, howdy and hello and welcome to The Crazy Train, the comedy podcast with no railers. I was saying it right. Why did I stop?
Is it railed or is it another thing?
I don't know what was happening. I was saying it right, and I was going rail.
Welcome to The Crazy Train. Get railed.
Yeah. The comedy show with no rays.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad.
Sorry. Yeah. So, hey, howdy and hello and welcome to The Crazy Train, the comedy podcast with no rails. I'm your host, Rob Wade, and I'm joined, as always, by Blake and Omer.
Howdy.
And I'm also joined by Omer Abraham.
I'm really here.
You're really here. Welcome.
Right, Scooby.
How the devil are you both?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Definitely good.
Yeah.
Devilly.
I'm really
Really
good.
good. Yeah. It's going to be a really good show.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one.
There you go. Welcome to The Crazy Train. It's really good. Brackets, there are no rails. Welcome to The Crazy Train. It's good. Anyway, some people think it is good, so they've gone ahead and written us some 5-star reviews. So I'm going to read. It's good.
Bagum, it's good.
It's good.
Is it Ebenezer good?
They really know what they're on about. On it good. Sure.
On show, right? They talk about stuff, and it's funny and all.
Sometimes they say things that make me laugh, and milk comes out my eyes.
Northern anatomy is weird.
Normally when
Everything goes up.
We got it tough up here. We bleed through ties.
normally when that happens, I'm having foreman's wank.
Oh man, you feel a little bit for the person who comes in at episode 54. It's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
What the hell is a foreman's
Every episode
wank?
is somebody's first.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Sorry. Anyway, so this is not the first for some people who've taken the time to write us 5-star iTunes reviews.
Maybe it is their first. Maybe they're just doing these blind.
I mean, I could...
Actually, if this is your... Can I make a request? If this is your first review,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 1 star or 5, please review it. Your first listen, sorry. Please review this just on the one episode
Before you get anywhere any further.
Just
Stop
do it
it.
now.
Stop. Do it now.
Stop now. Go do a review. Put first listener or whatever.
Yeah.
I want to know what somebody who's been listening for a few minutes thinks of this pile of steaming horseshit.
2 stars. They said rail a bit too much for my liking.
They can't speak properly. They keep saying things like really good.
Yeah.
They went northern, but they're from Kent.
Yeah.
Right.
What the fuck is a foreman's wank?
Delegation.
Who's Blake? Has he ever been on before?
Anyway, so the first comes from a podcast that did a review on the 14 Gamecast. You'd have heard that by now if you listen to both shows. If you don't, why the fuck don't you?
Review that too.
Review that too, but don't even listen to that one. Just review it.
Work out how many
It's
minutes.
called the Games Cast. Might be about
Have a guess.
games.
Who
knows?
Have a stab for
Work
fuck's
out
sake.
how many minutes and seconds this moment now is into this podcast. Go back to that one. Find the exact same time. Stop. Review it. Carry on.
But they might go back and they might not pronounce that right. It might be the Goms Cast for
The Gums Cast.
I like gum. Anyway,
Up,
so
down.
this is from Jack and the Geekstalk.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
So that's it's a little bit like E14. I think it's slightly more safe for work, both in subject matter
Less
and
bollocks.
language. Yeah,
Shitty cunt bollocks.
a bit like that. Yeah. So they write 5 stars. Great.
They wrote 5 stars.
Yeah,
Nice.
they wrote it out individually.
You can just click the little 5
Asterisks,
stars.
yeah. Brilliantly random chat. Definitely not for children, but great, but great all the same.
Fuck children. No, don't fuck children.
We're
Crazy.
never
Oh, God, please don't.
crazy. Never doing that show.
You said it multiple times. Not just on this episode.
Yeah.
If you just only listen to this episode.
Wouldn't it be amazing, right? So I haven't gone anywhere with it yet, but I have set up a t-shirt store, right? So I haven't put.
I thought you were going to go.
No.
I have set up the paedophile.
No,
cast.
right? Right.
I've not done anything with it
Wouldn't
yet.
it be amazing if it had a t-shirt, but nothing else?
Yeah.
Just a logo, right? And it's all in like crayon font, chalkboard, and it would just be a t-shirt with no context attached to it whatsoever, and it would just turn up because on TeePublic, which is where the store's going to be, it's in other people's stores if they want it.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Right, actually, so if the police are listening to this,
Yep.
we're going to release a t-shirt that just says the pedocast in crayon. We don't agree with this. We're
No,
not
we
paedophiles.
don't endorse paedophilia.
No,
it's
but
awful.
if you watch
terrible.
the stores that
Can't
pick
even
it
imagine
up, you've probably found active paedophiles.
There you go. I'll tell you. Yeah, there
If
you
anything,
go.
we're helping you narrow your search.
Exactly.
Yeah, and if you really want, we will donate the profits to the NSPCC.
Yeah.
That seems fair.
Yeah, they
Anyway.
could probably, or the police, so they can arrest the people buying the T-shirt.
Well, thank you very much for listening to the Crazy Train, and you'll
Dear
be sure.
please, cover our costs.
I'll be sure to reflect back fondly on this episode as I'm being fucking reamed in prison.
In prison, yeah.
Anyway,
Railed.
Being railed in prison.
so I'll go back a little bit. Definitely not for children, but great all the same. Never sticks on one point for too long, keeping you engaged. Love
we
to
don't
listen.
know how
No,
to
I
stick
don't
to
think we've
one.
ever figured out how to stick to one single point.
We can't even do that in the Goms cast.
No, we can't
All
even.
we talk about is goms. Just gom. That's the only
Goms.
word we say.
We talk about tably top goms.
Gom and gom
Talk
diddly
about
gom gom. Gom diddly gom
We
gom.
talk about video goms.
Tablet of goms.
on the 910 switch.
We were talking about Spanish goms.
Talk about goms from France.
Goms from Russia.
Speaking of staying on one topic for too long, I got a message from Jen while we were. This is before we even started recording. This is just when we were preambling. It's just. Do you guys ever join in each other's stories or just interrupt each other with your own?
Yep. Yeah, it's like three bulls just headbutting each other. Somewhere there's a matador just going, "Hello, I'm here too.
Anecdote.
I am in Spain."
I'm in
Sorry, I
Spawn.
haven't talked recently. What we're doing?
I'm Spawn. Anyway, so thank you very much
Thanks
for
for
that review.
Lovely.
So we move on to a podcast called The Lost Art of Podcasting.
Well-
So these guys are as prolific as we are. So they have two shows. One is a kind of a more random set of discussions, but
of
also they have the Lost Art.
steaming
The
horse
Lost
manure.
Well,
I'm only speaking for ours.
I don't. Yeah, that's fine.
Good horse manure.
And the other one they do is The Lost Art of Wrestling, which you might dig.
Oh, lovely.
They go heavy deep into the wrestling stuff.
Yeah?
They have a review of the most recent one is ECW's 1998 Heatwave pay-per-view. It's 3.5 hours long,
Shit
and
all
it's
the
not
bits.
a commentary.
Wow.
It
Oh,
is
I'm gonna
just
dig on that.
they are just super like they take super
I do
detailed
know the
notes.
name, actually. I do know the name.
Yeah.
So I probably some other podcast of wrestling has mentioned it.
Maybe,
or,
yeah.
Somehow Matthew
Well,
of
do they
Botchamania maybe may have
Are they
mentioned
talking like move for
Possibly.
move then? Or?
I don't know. Yeah, well, I mean,
that
they talk about like spots they like and bits and pieces about the
Awesome.
like. I think there's like trivia and stuff as well.
I am. If you listen, I am all for, as a guy who was/is a wrestler, etc. I am all for people who get into wrestling at a super deep and
Yeah.
level because they love it.
CageMatch.de, for example.
Yeah, that sort of. Well, because I've talked to wrestlers who've been in the business a few years, and I'll be like, okay, what are you doing tonight? They'll be like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know, I'll just do my stand-up, blah. And when I was announcing, ring announcing for Triple X Wrestling in Coventry, and we had now Finn Balor, Fergal,
Yeah.
and I was going up to wrestlers and saying, and some were, I won't mention the other guys, but some were on a pretty international level.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we do things a little bit different here. Do you want like a funny town to be announced from? Do you want
Okay.
to weigh in at so many cars or whatever, something like that? And they were like, no, thanks, brother. Like, we'll just do whatever. And Finn, when I was talking to him, he was talking about, I was like, it was a 4-way match between Finn, Zack Sabre Jr., Jimmy Havoc, and Adam Shane.
Okay.
Right, and we decided that we were going to list all of their achievements. That Zack had been the youngest ever British cruiserweight champion, etc.,
Okay.
etc. Light heavyweight champion, sorry. All this stuff, right? And when I got to Fergal, he was like, I'll tell you what we do. And he pulled up his Wikipedia article of himself
Yeah.
on his phone. And we listed everything he'd won, down to like PWI awards and things
Yeah.
like that. And he went in his bag, pulled out a little notepad, and spent time with a bit of his wrist tape, sellotaping it together so we had a Chris Jericho style list to
That's
pull out.
awesome.
That's Finn Balor, who is in the WWE, first ever Universal Champion. He was that bothered to have that much fun with a little company that had about 100 people in a pub.
Yeah.
If you are not bigger than him, you have no right to be a bit meh about what you do in the ring. So
I like that.
hearing that from a fans thing,
That's a
from
nice
people
story.
who will dig into Heatwave 98
Yeah.
and really go deep on it, I love it.
Yeah.
That's what wrestling's about.
Cool.
If you're as passionate about it, some of the wrestlers out there, and the ones who've taken it seriously, Triple H,
Yeah.
The Undertaker, they're probably as passionate as you are, and that's wicked.
I would say
so
that's
I
fair.
fully endorse anybody who's like that.
Well-
Don't ever anybody tell me, oh, he's too into it. Nope.
No.
Don't let wrestlers make you feel like you're not cool.
Yeah, because
Some
you've already
wrestlers
got
are dicks.
Don't let wrestlers don't let wrestlers make you feel like you're uncool because you're at a wrestling show with like 99 other people in a pub. You've already got that thing running through you. I kid. I like me some wrestling as well.
Yeah.
We watched WrestleMania together this year.
Yeah.
In fact, you caught a bit of it as well, didn't you?
I caught the beginning. I had to go because I had work. But
You saw Braun.
I saw Braun. I didn't see Braun porn, but
No, I don't think we saw
Porch
that.
porn.
And we watched the whole.
Musing and
porn.
debating wrestling, no matter how passionate it gets, exactly the same as I always say about debating Star Wars or anything like that. You can get absolutely crazy passionate about it, and you can really go on and on. Because at the end of the day, kind of doesn't matter.
No, sure.
It's not like debating politics or religion.
No.
You're just talking about...
I would say to some degree, some debate of politics doesn't matter either.
Oh, absolutely,
yeah.
But what I mean is with something like religion, for instance, you can actually fall out with people because it's your core beliefs.
Oh, sure,
You know, the fact that you may not like Mark Henry and I do, it's probably never going to make us fall out. Do you know what I mean?
Like, I am from the Church of the Mizarch. I am a card-carrying cleric of the House of Pain.
I actually come from the church.
Somebody go and get their ass kicked.
It's not going to be Braun.
That's probably true.
I'm personally from the Church of Naked Mideon.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you can just fucking get out.
Have you heard about the good news about Naked Mideon? He's got no clothes on.
Have you heard the good news? He doesn't do it anymore.
Actually, speaking of wrestling, so we've got a
Did we actually
a
read
few
their
episodes.
review?
It's quite a good point.
Shit, I don't think you did.
I'm sure it was nice.
They'll pull back the curtain here. He's closed the page and everything. He's trying to find it.
There we go.
Rewind.
They got a plug.
Oh fuck, we didn't. Crazy. That's what we do.
Even we forgot what we were on about.
All right, so the Lost Art of Podcasting, who also do a Lost Art of Wrestling show, which is how we got there.
I love wrestling. Do you know what I really like about Finn Balor?
Is it the demon makeup? Because that's pretty awesome.
It's pretty fucking wicked, isn't it?
Anyway, so they wrote a 5-star review which said, "Wish I'd started listening sooner." I would agree, and I would extend that to the whole fucking world.
Yeah.
I wish you'd all started listening sooner, or indeed at all. Anyway, stick a spoon up your ass.
Hello, fan.
Also, without context, still unnecessarily aggressive. Yeah. 5 stars. After being recommended this pod on Twitter, I not long after found myself laughing at some of the quips, insults, and one-liners these guys came out with. It seems about right.
Yeah, big
if you like comedy and want to laugh, then check it out. So that's nice, isn't it?
That's great.
Yeah, that's lovely.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for that. And if you, as before, if you'd like to contribute to the reviews and maybe get your show plugged, or if you've got anything particularly fun you want to share, it has to be clean enough to get through the iTunes filter.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't control that. That's Apple's domain.
If you write it in such a way so that when we read it out, like the first line spells swear words, that's even more entertaining.
Yeah, that works.
So if you're like,
Spunk
finally,
monkey.
I have found an unfiltered podcast about crazy antics and tits. No, you probably couldn't get tits. But that would spell fucked. I just fucked up the fucked.
Yeah. That spells, fructose. It's an odd choice, but
Look,
I personally like the fructose train.
I enjoy wrestling.
delicious.
I enjoy getting hit in the head. I just spelt fucked with
what's
a T.
my excuse? Anyway,
Braun.
so
You're right there, mate. Yeah, fine.
so you can, if you wish to contribute to the review, the ever burgeoning reviews of the Crazy Train and the E14 Gamecast,
Bulging
and
out
say
the
get
seams.
your show plugged. You can do so by finding us on iTunes by searching Emotionally 14, and you can review us there. You can review us on Stitcher Radio, and you can also do the comments and the likey things on YouTube and on, all the likey stuff.
Likey.
Likey. And you can also email us if you want to give us kind of constructive feedback or anything along those lines. Podcast@emotionally14.com is the place to do it. Or you can tweet us at emotionally14.
Awesome.
So we're talking about wrestling. Now, I remember a few episodes back we talked about how I'd put a question into the group thread of the people who appear on this show. So it's your
questions
Crouches.
for people who do questions.
Yeah, your Crouches, your Spikes, your Brads, your Marks.
us.
And us, yeah. I think we had a couple in the mix. Well,
Yeah, I
I
think I
didn't
threw
because I
one
think
in.
it was me who asked.
You asked it, yeah.
Yeah.
But you kind of used it as a little melting pot of questions, so I think we maybe
so
threw something
basically,
ourselves.
I've kept a list because there's some really good ones, and I've kept a rough total in my head of which ones we've done and which ones we haven't. So, apologies in advance, listeners, if you've heard us do a question before. I'm pretty sure these ones are all new. So, speaking of wrestling, what song would be your wrestler entrance music? Omer has to pick a new one.
Balls.
Yeah. What was your old one?
So I had a couple. There was a song called Kaaba Hut by a singer called S. Ortak.
Right.
But the one I settled on for the most was a song called Hukum Marche, which means I think it's like the battle march or the,
like a
the
no,
ready march.
No worries for the rest of your days.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And it is a piece of band music, so marching band music.
Okay.
And it's Hukum Marche was the piece of music played when the Turkish troops would line up. So it was the not pre-gunpowder, but early gunpowder days, and pre. Hukum Marche was the battle fury music. It was the bit where they would line up, and it was like this and it's pounding drums.
Yeah.
And then at about 3/4 of the way in, it like boom, and it speeds up.
Yeah.
And that is the initial run into battle, and then more music would play, and that was my entrance music because I thought that was pretty cool to.
Yeah.
And it worked because it had this. Most versions of it have somebody saying "Ustu Akuz Heidi Yalla," which is like "Ready, Set, Go."
Right.
And I thought that made it really cool. And I edited it to have
that works,
"Don't Panic, I'm Islamic" on the front of it.
Yeah.
And then there's just like the kind of Middle Eastern trumpet, like the.
Yeah.
It's very alien, and it's played in the register that you can tell it's Middle Eastern and it's Islamic. So it instantly went, "Here's a foreigner."
Yeah.
And then I'd come out waving my flag and everything.
Yeah.
I used that, and
Depending on where the audience was, you were a heel no matter what you did.
yeah, I did have some. I did a couple of fun ones. I went to a show in Wales, and I emailed Head my entrance music, but it was early days of that kind of technology. We were still bringing cassettes and CDs with us. Didn't bring a CD with me. They didn't get the email, so they said, "You're foreign, right? We'll find you something." And they played Rammstein because Germans and Turks are, the same thing.
Oh yeah, and they get along so well too.
I've come out to all kinds of The Memory Remains by Metallica for like rumbles and things like that.
That would be on my list.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And I did, so a few months ago, blimey, it was early this year now, I did a show as a favour. I did a Viking gimmick as a tag team with a guy called Aidan Wolf, who's awesome.
Yeah.
And I came out to En Sephirum's In My Sword I Trust. I really wanted Rotolust Fell by Wodruna, because it's like this shamanic, evil piece of music. And I was like all ready to come out all mysterious, spitting the blue mist and stuff like that. And I got a pop rock song. So it was a bit deaf, but that's been my real music. I don't know what I'd use now.
For we
Kiss
are
by
the
Holly Valance.
All right.
I thought you'd have had "For We Are the Varangian God."
Yeah. I came out to Battle Metal once.
Okay.
I went to a show and I was like, I was an instructor, some trainees. So I basically went out with no real gimmick, just like red singlet and boots.
Yeah.
And I did come out to Battle Metal just because it's a cool piece of music.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be hard for me to think, is it? Because if I'm Turkish, I'll use Turkish music. If I do the Viking gimmick again, it's going to be Battle Metal or something. But it's hard for me to actually think, what would I come out as me?
Okay.
Go on. You
Blake, have a go. I have a thought of a way to frame this that might help. So think of it this way. Don't just think of it as a pro wrestler theme. Think about it as your entrance music were you to appear on any kind of public stage. So let's say, for argument's sake, we got like loads of listeners.
Yep. We did an interview with
Step 1.
Yeah.
Step 2. So we get invited to like a podcast. We do like a panel or something.
Oh, okay, like a Comic-Con style panel.
Yeah, that
or
sort of
something.
thing. And they turn up here and there for like podcasts and stuff.
Him in this piece of music.
Yeah, exactly. Think of it from that point of view as well, because that's where I'm kind of approaching it from.
Because wrestling's got that when you come out to wrestling, it has to have like a Stone Cold. Me and my girlfriend were talking the other day. She said, "What's the best piece of entrance music?" Because it's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It is great.
Whether or not it's your favourite piece of music, is that here comes a badass. There's a clash across. Here I come. Like there's no pause. Here he's coming.
Yeah, and also you only need to hear that
bang, and he thinks that nobody could ever in wrestling use a crash of glass and not have you think of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely not. No.
Same with Mankind's car slide into the crash.
Yeah.
Then again, Razor Ramon had a very similar piece.
He did.
start,
Yeah.
So,
It's just like almost like a record scratch, though, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Wrestling will also sometimes have an intro that then becomes a bit more music, and that's the point that you hit the curtain.
Yeah. Finn Balor.
Finn Balor's got a perfect one. Sheamus, I love his music. When that poof and the lights hit, he's there but he's not there. My old Turkish dance music started with this just dum 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 dum, just drums.
Yeah.
And that would be when people are like, it's Omer. And then there was like, as the trumpet started, when I'd walk through the curtain. So you also have that step.
Or Jericho.
Jericho's, Jericho actually screams his name and then he's there. Yeah, the old countdown you used to have. So wrestling music's very different from just walking out somewhere.
Yeah. So just but try and think of it in those.
You don't want everyone to have glorious.
No.
Oh my god, what a song! Or just Braun.
Would that be your entrance?
Actually, can we start a campaign to get him to use the one with lyrics? There's a version of Braun's that was dom 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 da da da, which is I'm not finished with you.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's so good.
It is great. It's one. It's one of those ones that I heard it on YouTube because that's where I saw it. I think it's probably shared in about 8 other places. That's where I saw it the first time, and immediately after I watched a video of a clips from Raw, and Braun came out and his entrance music played, and I was really pissed off that it wasn't that version. Yeah.
To be honest, I'm surprised they don't just go, if we give you some money, can we just use that?
Yeah, and they'd probably take it and do it. It'd be a big thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this is it.
But anything they've used, they probably wouldn't have to give much because they've probably used an audio clip or Braun himself, which they won't own.
No,
and
they've
used music that they don't own.
True.
What they'd probably do is give them a thank you and do it themselves. Yeah.
That's it.
I've had a cease and desist from WWE before. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Triple H used to get them all the time. It was great.
Oh, fair enough.
We used to steal their names and their logos and things.
I've had one from Lucasfilm.
Oh, awesome. It's good to get the big boys, isn't it? Yeah. Especially if they don't sue you up the bum.
Yeah. Well, it was only...
They're not going to get much out of you, are they?
It was a copyright strike.
Oh, okay.
It was. I think it's music related.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal. Not like it wasn't like I don't have to appear in court or anything next week or anything like that. Don't worry about that. There'll still be a show.
Incidentally, you might not see me for some time.
Reamed in jail. Railed in jail.
I'm really sick because it's hard not to just pick a piece of music you really like.
Yeah.
Because there's a band, I'm trying to remember the name, Pyromaze, do a song called The Battle of Paradise.
Right.
And it's a cool little kind of proggy.
Is that the place Phil Collins went to as well?
That's the one, yeah.
He spent another day in paradise.
Could I have Braun Strowman's theme be accepted? I'm not done appreciating you yet.
Yep,
I appreciate you. I would pay money to make that.
I know what I want, just because it would make people laugh. I want the Jurassic Park theme tune.
Yes.
The melodica one.
But so I want the intro that just those first notes on the piano or and then just because it would be hilarious. Or there's a really good version of the Match of the Day theme tune played badly on a guitar on YouTube as well.
That's a good one.
But then that has 40,000 views, and I'll just look at my videos. It's just I put a lot of effort into those.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you practice for ages. Who knows?
Yeah.
No.
It took a lot of work to play this badly.
But the thing is, if you go on that guy's channel and watch some of his other videos, he's a really accomplished guitarist and bass player. So he's obviously just having a cool little fuck around with that.
I want to see him do the dueling banjos. I remember once
just slowly trail off.
There was there's a music shop in Chatham that's now no longer there. Sound of the Image, Sounds Perfect, Manny's Music. It's been a few different shops. When I first used to go in there was a guy who used to work in there called Paul, and I really liked Paul. He was very much like a proper misanthrope, really cynical and jaded and stuff. But he was good fun, and he was very witty. And he used to make a point when people came in, if it was quiet and he was bored, he would go and grab a guitar. And this guy was a shit-hot guitarist. He would play Van Halen just for fun. But he would start playing Led Zeppelin wrong on purpose. And it was the happiest you'd ever see him because he was just... But you just hear it so obviously... jarring, and he's just cracking up laughing, or he's got a huge fucking shit-eating grin on his face.
We're missing a trick here. If we came out because we did this podcast, and we needed a song for us to enter because of this podcast.
Oh God!
Isn't there one
Runaway Train by Soul Asylum?
That's the one. Yeah.
God.
Well, I think our song should start off as one and then go off into another song and then go off into another song. And then we just forget what the first song was.
Interrupted.
Shall we just again to pull back
I've
the
got a
curtain
song
a little
about
bit?
this.
There was a time when Blake used to start every episode with a song.
Yes.
Right, so we didn't.
To be honest, it's been mostly up until the last few episodes.
Yeah, it has. But there was always this joke that was like, you should do Crazy Train.
That would be.
And it was like that was
the last episode.
If we ever had to shut it down for whatever, we're all running away, whatever. You should do Crazy Train, and we'll be like, was that an original one, Blake?
Yeah, I made it up.
So there's again a little pullback for anybody that's going, why has he never done Crazy Train? We know.
Yeah,
that's the joke.
We've entertained it.
Yeah.
Part of the fun is that we do not that song.
To be fair,
that is actually where the crazy comes from.
Yeah, to be fair, I was going to say we've done Crazy enough times that
and that's evolved beyond even the mention of that song. Really.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a thing has reminded me slightly of something that may have been on the show, is a reference to, or
also,
is a little bit odd.
Yeah. Also, if it's just going off on this happens among our friends, especially but not limited to the ones who are on the show.
Yeah.
We'll just be going off on a tangent, and they'll go, "Oh, that's my train of thought." Crazy,
yeah, exactly.
and it's fucking wonderful when that happens. It's
usually,
like I'm like a proud dad.
It's that how it goes bit that will change. So it'll be like, "Crazy, he's forgotten his spoon" or whatever. Like,
stick a spoon up your ass.
It's become like private pop culture.
Yes, it's great, and I'm there's moments like to go behind the curtain. There are moments where it is harder to do these things than it otherwise should be, just because like editing can be time consuming, or like the last few episodes I've had problems with like post-production audio where it's like it's a little bit of an echo that I can't figure out, and then later on I figure it out and correct it for the next episode and stuff like that.
Even just like the last time we were supposed to record, something happened and we couldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And somebody that was supposed to be here couldn't be there for this one, and it just throws everything around.
Yeah, exactly. So there are times where that's harder than other times. Yeah. But I can tell you now, and if anybody else, share me your crazy stories, because crazier stories, because that's the kind of stuff where when that happens, I just go, no, it is worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's nice.
What we said, go back to the first, if this is your first episode, go back to a couple of the first few. You'll hear me, all of us, but me especially, say, I'm doing this to hang out with my mates. And unfortunately, it was a time when I couldn't do this as much. I had my little girl and all that. Yeah. I still do it to hang out with my mates. The fact that we have more listeners now and there is a modicum of success behind it. Yeah. That's great, but I'm still doing this just to chill out with mates and have a laugh. It's a shame we're not the big group we used to be. Yeah, this is technologically better now. Yeah,
it's also a shame that admittedly, that we can't hang out as much just for fun.
Yeah, when was the last time we actually even just got together?
Yeah, this is it. Probably
when I used to start, when I used to play games in Rochester, but even then that was like a scheduled thing because I was there every Wednesday.
Yeah.
We don't life.
Yeah, I think Neutrality Day was the last time we all got together.
Yes, yeah, totally. But that was because we were all invited.
Oh, sorry,
it's not just like
Swiss National Day.
Hey, Rob, what are you doing next Tuesday? You want to get together for a game of clicks or something?
What are you doing next Tuesday? Do you want to come over and be neutral?
Yeah. Would you like to come around and not celebrate things in any particularly large amount of way? Yeah, I tell you what.
Hey, lactose intolerant people, do you want to come over and eat cheese and chocolate? No, actually, it was really nice that they did provide.
Yes, they did.
It was lactose free for me and my little girl.
Yeah, so that was lovely, it was good times.
We brought some as well, so just in case. Yeah. But then they supplied for us, so we just ended with this pile of. We took it all home. Most of it's in the fridge.
There was some fucking wonderful cheese at that thing.
Great stuff. Really, even I had a little chunk just to spoil myself.
Just because well, Crouch does that too. I've said to him before. We were talking. Obviously, he's talked about. I don't think he's talked about it on the air, but he has an allergy. Yeah. And a particularly common one. Yep. It's not a big deal if you couldn't prepare for it and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
But we were talking about it's peanuts because otherwise I realised I'll try and keep it I'll try and keep it subtle. Then I realised it's essential to this next bit.
I think I know where you're going.
Yeah. We were talking about Five Guys.
Yep, exactly the same.
Yeah. And obviously
he broke my Five Guys virginity. Actually, he took me to my first Five Guys.
Yeah.
Before we went and watched Warcraft.
I love a bit of Five Guys.
I do love it. Yeah, my little girl loves it.
I've never been to Five Guys until I did Identities.
Oh, okay.
Went to Identities, did that afterwards, and then obviously went to Mideon afterwards.
Yeah.
So.
It's not the best dinner you'll ever have, but it's a good burger.
Oh, I like that burger.
I just thought I'd always heard of Five Guys being mentioned by American YouTube channels.
It's a nice greasy burger that isn't off a van weasel meat.
Yeah, and it's also not like.
I actually thought the chips were better than the burger.
Well, the chips are good because they're cooked in peanut oil. Yep. So we were talking about Five Guys. They said, I love Five Guys. I was like, can you not? Presumably you can't have the chips. He was like, no, I just dose up.
Deal with it.
okay.
Yeah, I sat there with him. He was telling me about it when I went the first time, and I'm like, "You're going to be okay." And I'm watching his lips turn like pinkish red, not really swelling, but like you'd eaten something spicy.
Yeah.
You know, and your lips just pucker up a little and go pink.
Yeah.
And so it was as bad as it gets. He's like, well, if I don't, prepare myself, then I'll be fine. You know?
Well, it's like my friend. One of my friends is diabetic, type 1, and he's insulin dependent, obviously, because that's type 1. I don't know why I had to clarify that. Well, maybe for those who don't know. Anyway, because this has never been a medical cast. Christ, if you're taking advice from us, fuck me, you're
way dead.
Oh, we are sitting eating McVitie's digestive thins. We've got some squishies on the table. Do you know what I really like? I know you don't listen to it, but there was a podcast that kind of spurned this one for our love of another podcast, and they're now all super eat. They used to eat like gummy sweets, they'd have pizza and drinks. Now they've all gone super healthy, and I'm looking at the table. We've got not super healthy, they don't hark on about it, but they're all doing their best. They're getting a little older than us, doing their best not to pickle themselves, you know. And we've got there's a bag of Doritos, I've got some crisps made out of hummus, I've got through my 4th can of Sprite, some digestive chocolate thins, some Belgian chocolate shortbread, and some drumstick squishies on the table. So we will never learn.
We will not. We will certainly not do that. So entrance music.
Crazy.
That's what we do.
Can we actually have our entrance music as us rambling for 5 minutes?
Just us.
Just like
when the Road Dogg used to do his speech to the ring, and now K-Quick does it, Enzo Amore does it. That'd just be us. Just give us a microphone and go, once upon a time I had a nice piece of cheese at a neutral party, but I couldn't really eat the cheese, so I had cream instead.
Yeah. And then Joe dosed himself up so he could eat peanut chips.
2 tears in a bucket.
And I'm at the ring.
Now you should do Undertaker's WrestleMania entrance. You got to do a whole goddamn podcast on the way.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, left foot. Oh, he's retired.
Yeah.
And I've got in the ring, and I'm going to get punched now. See you in a minute.
Checks out on iTunes.
I've seen a couple of matches of wrestlers have got a microphone. I think Kenny Omega did it recently. We did commentary as he was being hit. He's like, the guy went to kick him. He caught his leg. He's like, I got you now. You can't possibly do anything to me. Guy goes from Enziguri, but of course Kenny ducks it, and he's like, no, I've seen wrestling before.
He's like the what is it? Is it Dogma, where he's like, no, I've seen too many Bond movies to reveal all my details of my plot just yet.
Not the biggest Kenny Omega fan, but that was good.
Yeah,
I'm a Jim Cornette guy, so
not
all the way. Jim Cornette. Somebody once pointed out to me, he's got some great ideas. But what's he ever actually done? Smoky Mountain Wrestling didn't change the world.
No,
it's
true. It's true. It was good.
He's better. He's like, I think Paul Heyman. He's better when he's not holding the checkbook.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. No, I'm a Cornette guy as well, just because he's fucking hilarious.
That's why I'm drinking Sprite.
Well, that's it.
I don't know if he knows.
Other soft drinks are available.
Yes, indeed. Blake, entrance music.
I'm the one that suggested half of them.
You've had fucking ages to think of one.
I'm just going to shut up. Let's get some gaffer tape on my mouth.
Half of them.
Yeah, true. So my one probably harken back to. So when I used to do stand up, I used to. I never had theme music all the way through. I was always like just pop out and do my bit, and usually the theme music. I didn't want the theme music to be.
It's good enough for Twisted Sister.
Well, there's that. You know,
they just walk out and say, "Hello, everybody, we're Twisted fucking Sister," and then they play their first song.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's it.
Yeah, I never did that. I never walked out and said, "Hello, I'm Twisted Sister."
And now I'm going to play you some Rob originals.
I'm Bent Brother.
No, although there were the suspicions from the family, but so I didn't used to have entrance music, and then I got a show where I was like, I can't remember if it was either a headline or it was a long set. So I was like, you know what, I can justify 30 seconds of track.
Yeah, totally.
So I had like a cut down version of Cherub Rock by the Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, awesome.
Something like that would be a good one. Although actually, to be honest, some of the theme tunes we use on Emotionally 14 are fucking fantastic.
Yeah, back to that. They are great.
Yeah.
I think they're excluded from the question because they're your music, our music.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
It's like joking about using the crazy.
That'd be a loophole. Yeah, that would be a loophole.
If I was to choose, I know it's not a song that I'd say speaks about me or anything, but I thought a good wrestling theme tune is probably about the middle of going for like All Nightmare Long. Like
Starfuckers Incorporated.
Or that, that works.
Oh, then on a similar
All Nightmare Long by Metallica would be a good one.
Okay.
So you have to have a song played at your funeral, not as you lowered or anything like that, and not a sad something you feel sums you up, not in a super emotional like, oh, it's going to be My Way by Sinatra.
Crazy Nights by Kiss.
Yeah, I could.
I don't know why I had to. I don't know why that came to me so quickly, but
it was my wrestling in back to wrestling. So was everything's wrestling.
My wrestling
about
instructor.
Me,
Wasted Years by Iron Maiden.
The ghost started my
Meant to
wrestling
not
school.
be sad.
Andre Baker, that was his entrance music, Crazy
Okay,
Nights.
yeah.
And that one's always supposed to be that way. 'Cause
Yeah.
when we had the memorial show when he passed away, they played like this slow acoustic version of it. And like we had like Johnny Moss, who's massive.
Right.
Zach was just about to go out. Zack Sabre Jr. was just about to go out to Noah.
Yeah.
Fergal, Finn, whatever was back from New Japan for the show.
Yeah.
Some of the sort of cream of the British wrestling industry were there, just like, nah, he's gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, that song, that's an awesome song though. Like we did it in BCC, didn't we? Crazy Nights. We tried to.
Yes,
We didn't do
yeah.
it very well, mainly because Ronnie. There's a key change at the end. It goes up,
Oh yeah,
and then it goes up
we
again.
had trouble singing that high.
I couldn't sing it that high. So Ronnie was like, so I said to Ronnie, look, it goes up twice.
Yeah.
And I can sing it normally. When it goes up once, I
Might be
struggle.
able to just about, yeah.
When it goes up again,
It's not happening.
it's out there. So
Yeah.
we can either do it badly, like you just sing the end as like,
Yeah.
or you can start the song one lower.
Yes.
We'll play the whole thing. And he's like, I can't do that. I was like, you can. You're the most musically talented person I know. You could definitely drop it a little.
Yeah.
No, I can't. You fucking could. But what he liked to do, what I didn't know, when he went up to the second up, he went up 2. So a total of 4. And there was no hope, because on the first
think
one
we
it was already
intended-
out of my range.
I think we
Yeah.
intentionally went falsetto at that point.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So by the time at the end of the song, there were dogs barking outside.
Down the road, they're just like, what?
Yeah.
Who's playing
It was
Kiss?
a
I
good
love
trick
this
I
song.
didn't realise for about 3 months.
I can very
Then
rarely
we-
get a
we
chance to
played
enjoy
for
it.
dogs.
Yeah.
We played it at the only gig that Pagan Wedding we played.
Yes.
Played at the only gig where the crowd might recognise the song properly, and I got the lyrics all wrong. What a dick.
You've ruined our wedding.
If it was just for the sake of a fun bit of to sort of liven up a funeral, it would also be Detroit Rock City by Kiss.
Yeah.
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 Just-
We're not going to take it. Twisted Sister. That's another great one.
Yeah.
That sums up a really happy time of my life. And that's,
Okay.
that's got a lot of... I'm not one of those, like, fuck my haters people, but that's got a lot of, I'll do it my way kind of
Yeah.
lyrics as well, which is quite
Yeah.
fun.
I know it's arguably a sad one, but I think for the sure shortness of it, as I'm being lonely, can we just go depressed trike, 3 wheels of sad, and that's it.
My friend went to a funeral where the person was cremated. And there were a load of old crusty punks.
Just picturing this.
Well, just be lower to that.
Depressed track. And then as it goes down,
Yeah, that's it. It's like that, and all you can hear is a mechanical whirring.
depressed track.
Yeah, a friend of mine went to a...
He's
an old-
of sad.
A friend of mine's an old crusty punk. You know what I mean? From like the hardcore punk. And he went,
Fuck the system, kids.
he went to the funeral of a very close friend of mine, and it's just a room full of old guys with tons of piercings, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not old guys. I think he turned 40 this year, so that era of punk.
Yeah.
And the guy was cremated, and it wasn't one of his favourite songs or anything. As the doors open and the coffin goes in, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba-na-na, purely done as a joke to make everybody laugh. And he said, "You've never seen so many like." People that if you were to cast them in a movie, they'd be the people you should be scared of and you don't want to go down the alley.
Right.
They're the Joker's
Yeah.
thugs. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So many of them just laughing and crying because the guy knew he was passing away. It wasn't
Yeah.
an accident. And so he knew like that. He put that like I'm going to have balls of fire as they set me on fire. I really
Ring of
hope.
fire.
Ring of fire. What did I say? Balls. Yeah, ring
Yeah.
of fire. Sorry.
I mean, it's nearby.
I really hope he went in arse first because
Yeah,
that's
it's
totally.
near- I mean, it's nearby,
It's balls
but-
and rings.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gooch of fire.
But just that, because that's another Orange's music. It's got a beginning that you recognise.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 oh my god, it's that one about fire.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that could really.
I hurt my gooch today. That's all that I can feel.
I'm a walking gooch. Nothing else is real. I have lost my arms. I don't
both
have
my
any
legs.
legs. I'm a walking taint.
That's the one down the end.
I don't have no balls.
I can make no dirt.
And
I
I'm
crawl
amazed I
around
can.
the dirt. I look like a hairy slug. Or
I'm a good...
maybe a squirrel's pelt.
I'm amazed he's keeping his voice that low.
See, Ronnie, I can do low, you bastard.
Can't do high. To be fair, we could barely sing in the band anyway.
Yeah.
That's sort of part of the appeal. And they're coming around the outside. Fuck off.
I really want you to be a racing commentator now. They're coming out the outside. Fuck off.
Get to the tower.
He's lost it. He's out of control. What a mug.
I think as Brad always said about BCC, though, it's like no one went there and went, oh, I really like them. I would like them for their singing.
Yeah, no.
Their technical prowess is something to be given.
He was in the band.
Yeah.
Ooh, sick burn.
Oh, dear.
Right on the taint. You could... No? Okay.
Anyway, back to Susu Studio. Anyway.
Solitary
Empire
gooch.
of Brawn.
Solitary gooch.
I think I'm a bit drunk.
We haven't been drinking.
More people know him as doing Hurt now than Nine Inch Nails.
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah.
they said it's his song.
Yeah.
They said it's his song now.
Yeah. I mean, Nine Inch Nails version's really good, but I think Cash's is definitive.
It makes it feel.
Yeah.
I would say that about Metallica's Whiskey in the Jar.
That's good,
As opposed to...
Thin Lizzy's.
Yeah, that's a good song. But if you hear that sung in a pub in Ireland, it's a drinking song, and everybody's like, la 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 la
Yeah.
la la. And when Metallica do it, it sounds like a drinking song.
Yeah.
Same. Sometimes covers are better.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well,
Sometimes.
it's a traditional folk song, really. Isn't
Absolutely.
It?
Yeah.
It's a drinking song. It's for drinking and dancing and partying and fucking and,
Whatever we do when we're in the pub.
Disgusting mental imagery.
Yeah, that's why
And other
BCC
fluids as well.
other
Other fluids are available. Oh, my.
Such as Sprite.
Go sticky.
Oh, I'm going to Sprite everywhere. Is this just evolved into us making rude
7
noises
Up.
into a microphone?
Yeah.
Got 7 Up from Five Guys.
Oh, whites!
Any other questions?
Yeah, we got some.
So we've kind of answered
Before we
that question.
degenerate
Yeah,
into just
sort of.
us
At least that one was the question we
singing
could answer.
Giggling
dirty
like
versions
twats,
of Nine
yeah.
Inch Nails covers by Johnny Cash.
Giggling like twats. Let's go for... That one's a bit too deep.
That's what she said.
Sprited everywhere.
If you could eat any fictitious food from a movie, what would you choose and why?
So good.
Yeah.
Does it have to be specifically a movie, or
That one
can it
came
be a
from
TV
Crouch.
show?
It can be from TV. I think Crouch was specifically just asking about media rather than fictitious.
Okay.
food.
Can it? Oh,
It
is it
tends to be-
fictitious? So
yeah.
Can it be a real food that, say, in a cartoon that looked amazing? So the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles cartoon had the most amazing pizza, but pizza is real.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah,
So
no, the
does
one
that- it's gotta be a
the
fictitious thing you
example
can't
I
eat.
was going to be, because I know it doesn't work in theory, but I want it to work,
Yeah.
is the nacho hat from The Simpsons.
Yeah, it's good.
Nacho hat.
I'll mention
Because
real quick.
obviously the idea of dipping the cheese in
Yeah.
there,
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
obviously it would just melt through and
Just
burn
burn
you.
you.
But I know it wouldn't work in practice.
Yeah.
It's just I want it to work.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Just mention real quick as well. Me and Crouch did our birthdays are really close together, so we had a joint kind of party thing. We had
Yes.
a pizza party. Everybody got their own little custom made pizza, and we made a Turtles pizza. We had like marshmallows, cheese, savouries and sweets basically, and it was great. It was really, really nice. We both finished it. We enjoyed it so much. Fictitious food. Oh, so I'm trying like that. Like I don't like the Turtles pizzas in the movies, and that they all look great because
Yeah.
they were made to look great. Pizza is obviously real, so I'm trying to think of something that doesn't
trying to think of
exist
a
that I want
food
to
that-
eat.
Yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of foods that don't exist.
There's a food. What is it? The very beginning of Blade Runner, he eats something called Noodles. I've been unable to find them, but I'm reliably informed they're a
I
thing.
had those for lunch.
Yeah.
No, but I was saying it's not. Nothing I could. Well,
But,
apart
I-
from maybe a
We
sci-fi
can
thing.
broaden it to, the sort of within the scope of fictitious realms.
Yeah, so books and
Yeah, yeah.
and comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of have to, don't you?
So
with a
blue
drink,
milk.
Corellian whiskey.
All right.
I've always wanted to know because my parents drink whiskey, and I would have a little on a Saturday when we were having roast dinner. We'd always have a Saturday roast
a
dinner because we're
weird
out on
combo.
Sundays. No, they would have. No, it was afterwards. My parents
roast
would
and
have.
whiskey.
My parents would have like probably I guess a tot of whiskey.
Yeah.
For the like, my mum would pour it and then let it sit while she went and did the washing up, and they'd finish it before they went to bed, but they certainly weren't just drinking it.
Yeah.
So a bottle would last
aperitif
weeks.
at the end, or
yeah, exactly.
Did she ever accidentally just chuck it into the washing machine, which is why you used to reek of booze?
Yeah, that's the one. That was the reason.
Yeah.
As I got to about 13, maybe 14, obviously wanted to try, and they'd let me just try a little sip, and then I remember I would have a tot of whiskey in a pint glass topped up with lemonade.
Okay.
And that was my little aperitif for the rest of it. So I don't love whiskey, and I do kind of have to have it sweet. And I like sweet drinks like ciders, like real good sweet ciders and things like that. But Corellian whiskey, the way it was always described in the Star Wars books, is the way it burns as it goes down.
Yeah,
like it violently burns.
Nowadays, you'd have to drink something like the Fireball cinnamon stuff.
Yeah,
to
totally.
Make
That's kind of what I imagine it having a cinnamony
Yeah.
taste. Yeah, because whiskey does do that burn to your throat.
Yeah.
Not like a Jack Daniels. My parents used to drink like Bell's or
Teachers,
Johnnie Walker, Teachers sometimes, Famous Grouse.
Yeah,
real whiskey's not because
it's a sour mash.
Yeah.
Versus...
Jack Daniels is sour, but it's a what's the other type of
bourbon?
Bourbon. Yeah, it's not a true whiskey. It's bourbon.
I think some of the ones you listed are.
They're crossover. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But like Bell's and Johnnie Walker are pure whiskies.
Johnnie Walker's what I drink when I would drink whiskey.
Yeah, it's a nice whiskey.
I have a thing about if I go to a bar and I see Johnnie Walker in the shelf in the background, that's what I'm drinking.
That's what you want.
Even if it's the really expensive ones.
Have you got a preference for the label?
The most expensive one I've actually been able to drink because it's there is Double Black.
Oh wow,
and that's quite good.
I've never even tried that.
It's not a million miles off normal black, but it's pretty good.
It's a bit nicer. Yeah.
But Double Black is a little bit nicer, but not by much.
Yeah, my dad likes black, my mum likes red, so it was always like a bottle that was drunk very slowly.
Cool. Card games around the Ibrahim house must be good. Gin. But I do have like it's a weird kind of bucket list thing, not to drink from a bucket, but to try each of the Johnnie Walkers, even just a shot,
just a drink of.
Yeah, so far I've managed the first 3, and there's like 7.
Yeah, and then you get special releases and things like that as well. But the bulk
there's red, black, double black, blue. Yeah, blue's the most expensive one, I think.
I think so, because it was gold label.
Yeah, gold is now like 40 quid a bottle, which is still...
blue overtook. It's still pricey for a drink.
Blue is now 120 quid a bottle, I think.
Oh, wow, as much as that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Green there's a green one.
Yep.
I feel like there's another label I'm missing, but right in.
Yeah.
You've lost me, I'm afraid.
That's fair enough.
Fictitious.
You're more of an ale guy, aren't you?
I prefer my ales, and I do drink whiskey. I mean, I tend to drink a lot of things as mixers, really, rather than that. So,
I can't drink it straight.
That's the thing. A lot of people that will go like no, I know some people who really love their whiskey, but I know they'd probably laugh at me if I was like, "Can I have it with some Coke?"
Yeah, whiskey with lemonade, bourbon with Coke.
Yeah,
that's all I
what they should do.
As I said, you talking about that, actually, there's one I tried recently, and I tried it with some lemonade, and it actually is really nice. It's a sweeter drink.
Yeah.
But obviously still got that whiskey style burn. It's the apple Jim Beam.
That is good.
It's like apple sours and Jim Beam.
One of my favourite drinks is the cherry Jim Beam.
Okay, I've not tried that one.
It's called Red Stag, I think.
Okay.
I've had a bottle in my desk drawer at work for some time without finishing it, so it's probably vinegar by now. I don't know how whiskey works.
I've had it in my desk for some time because work is really crap.
No, well, what it is, I used to like I like
get through the day.
Yeah. I like a day at work when I can feel a bit like a detective at the end. Yeah. So at the end of a day, if I've had a particularly tough day, when I used to stay a lot later at work, and like as a result I'd get home much later and stuff. So if I was at work, there was a good chance I was one of the last people in the office, so there's not going to be anybody who's just like a bit early in it. I mean, this is like 10:30 in the morning, so whatever.
You're not sitting there, opening your hip flask by your coffee.
No, nothing like that. But I used to I bought a bottle and just stuck it in my desk drawer, and I used to just pull it out, pour a shot, and because it was cherry infused, I'd just mix it with a Coke, and it would be like a cherry Coke and whiskey, which is quite nice.
It's got that smoky burn of the whiskey.
Yeah. But like it was basically like a detective at the end of a tough day. Like I'd have an internal monologue like, that project was one of the toughest I've ever had in my life, but it's over now.
I debugged like a son of a bitch.
When I was, do you find
Those
like when
developers busted my
when you were a
balls.
kid, you used to do certain things like imagine as you're walking home from school, whatever. You'd imagine you were a certain superhero and you jump on that car, and then
That was supposed to stop when I was a kid.
no, that's exactly what I'm on about.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I always used to imagine I had Wolverine's claws, and everything I was walking past was getting ripped.
Yeah, no,
like,
sorry. What I mean is that supposed to stop when
no,
you're a kid?
absolutely not. That's
Okay.
what I'm on about.
Good.
But another one I had as a kid was I used to grab a little snack just before I went to bed or something,
Yeah.
like a little something from the fridge. Like if there was some Skittles, 4 or 5 Skittles, I'd wrap them up in a tissue and I'd always pretend I was like hiding rations or something like that. It was just a fun little game from the kitchen to my bedroom.
Your childhood
Not
was
because I was
tough.
hiding. Yeah, it was weird. Those and all those bloody peas I had to
Back
play
in
with.
there,
They went
in there with my
they went to
Skittles.
great lengths to make sure that you
did
thought they were
bloody
real.
Poddington peas.
Oh man! For those whose first episode this is, we once.
It's a good one.
It was just a running joke that your mum had invented the Poddington peas, told you they were real, and just given you a bag of peas.
Yeah,
at the time.
I
we
now
couldn't afford
can't hear
toys.
the theme tune without
Down at the
changing.
bottom of the poorhouse, where Omer plays with his peas, we invented a TV show so that he wouldn't feel left out. They called the poverty peas.
So
Poverty
good.
peas.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a T-shirt.
Yeah,
Who
totally.
knows?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a really poor pea.
Yeah.
Poor.
And it's threads, and it's like really
The
threadbare.
t-shirt's threadbare, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just ripped in places, like Brooklyn Brawler.
I'm still trying to think of fictitious foods because it's such a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, how about like a snozcumber?
There you go.
That's cool because apparently they taste terrible, but they
Yeah.
look so crunchy and like gherkiny.
Yeah.
Or other gross ones like the rats that Shrek roasts. Eyeball soup and
Basically,
stuff like that.
most of the Wonka factory for me.
Oh, I'm just thinking that. Yeah. Anything from there
The roast
would be
dinner,
good.
the roast dinner chewing gum.
Yes,
There you
that's
go.
so good,
I'd like to
yeah.
try that. Maybe just to say like it's not as good as Dark and chuck it in the fucking bin.
Yeah, I thought you'd been more up for Fobscotch.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah, all that. Roald Dahl's just stunning.
Yeah.
I keep trying to find a copy of his cookbook and.
Okay.
Well, I have the
so
all
good.
chocolate cake.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that cake. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd be
Matilda
amazing
cake.
if you bought the Roald Dahl cookbook and it's just like use beef. It's
Did you ever see the TV
it's
show
just like
of
a
it?
preamble to like the Lush cookbook. Not Lush. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Lush cookbook.
Here's my cook.
Use
Here's my
lavender
cookbook
everywhere.
on why I hate children.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Why would Lush have a cookbook? Why the fuck does my brain go
gross.
there? It'd be gross.
Yeah, did you ever see the TV show with Gary
You
Rhodes?
just
I'm
compress
Gary Rhodes.
you compress your roast dinner into a ball, you chuck in the bath and then eat. Oh god.
Bath soak, gravy ball. I've got a gravy taste.
Tastes a bit soapy, this.
Why did I mute it? Why would that help if everybody else is carrying on?
It's a
Yeah,
bit
Gary Rhodes did the cookery show, the Roald Dahl cookery
Yeah.
show. This is a really good subject because there's so many like.
I made him eat lush.
Yeah, I'd eat lush. That's fictional food.
It looks like fruit.
Yeah. Oh, the feast at fucking Hook.
I was watching that today because
Yeah.
it's. Was it yesterday? Was the anniversary of Robin Williams' death?
It's certainly been in
Or
the last few
something like-
days. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been watching
What a film.
the Bangarang feast.
What a film.
Oh, it's Charlotte, my girlfriend, never seen it before.
Really?
Never seen it.
Wow.
So we sat. I actually watched.
I haven't
her
seen it in
when I
years.
watched the movie.
Yes.
What was the moment? There was a moment I was really watching through her. I think it was the Bangarang scene.
Yeah.
When he first throws the food
Yes.
in his face.
Yeah.
And Charlotte's like, "What are they eating?" I'm like, "Imagination.
Whatever they want. Yeah.
They are purely. She said. I said they're sustained by their imagination.
Yeah.
She said that's really sad. I said it's not. So the same way that like my bearded dragon lives on locusts and crickets and veg. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't need the vitamins we do. We die
roast
on its
duck.
food. It would die on our food.
Yeah.
Like they live on their imagination. Because part of me think you can't get old in Neverland.
No.
So you can't die of old
And also,
age.
your brain doesn't kind
No,
of.
so you
know,
don't
your-
need to. Well, you get to a certain point because Peter was a baby when he went there,
Yeah.
and he.
Well, yeah,
you,
what I
you
mean
grow
is
old.
your-
You grow, but you don't grow up
Your brain will kind of develop to a certain degree and then stop.
and then stop.
Yeah.
You may have a better understanding of things, but
Yeah.
you will always be 12 because
Yeah.
that's what I always think about Rufio in that movie. He's clearly like 14 to 16 years old.
Yeah.
He's older than the children, but not old enough to be a pirate.
Yes.
So
yeah.
he's how did he get there? I'd love to see like an extended universe, like Star Wars style of Hook.
I'd watch a Hook prequel.
I'd watch a Rufio movie.
Yeah.
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 To see how he got there.
Studio execs, if you're listening, make that fucking happen. I'd watch
And
that.
it'd be a great way to set up because you wouldn't need
In fact, you know what?
You wouldn't need Robin Williams anymore.
I'm going to
You wouldn't
ask,
need him in it, and with him gone, it'd be a nice tribute.
So there's a podcast in the Britpod scene called Beyond the Box Set. Mm-hmm. What they do is they take films and TV series and they pitch sequels and prequels. I'm going to ask them to do a Hook one if they have the time.
That'd be great.
So I'm
really
going
great.
a Rufio movie.
Yeah, or just a general.
Well, they just have to come up with. They get to come up with the concepts.
I think Rufio's an obvious example.
Yeah. How
did he get there because of his age, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, the Bangarang feast would be a good one to eat.
The dinner from Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay.
The one where Robin Williams burns the soup or whatever.
Oh, yes.
And then has to order something in from an Italian restaurant that delivers.
Oh, just reminded me of the 40 Towers version of that. With the duck trifle. And the trifle, fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Love that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
a lot. This is the thing. There's a lot of it, but there's not.
Oh, the elven bread.
Blue milk. There you go.
Blue milk, elven bread. Lambus bread, that's the one.
Yeah,
the one that fills you up. They eat like 2 loaves or whatever, don't they?
Yeah, I said blue milk just before you said grilling whiskey.
Okay.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to mix those.
What's that supposed to be
No.
from? You'll be the guy to ask that.
What's that, mate?
What is blue milk from? What animal is that?
Oh, I don't even know.
It must come from like a bantha or something.
I guess so.
Well, I mean, it's legitimately possible.
Food.
It's literally bantha food. Hippopotamuses have pink milk. They actually sweat pink. So you ever seen like the underside of a hippopotamus out on land? It's kind of it looks like a sore pink. You know, if you get like a sore in the inside of your knee or something.
Yeah, I just assumed
no, that's their sweat. It's pink. I was watching a show
Maybe
about
if they did some fucking exercise occasionally, they would get used to sweating.
Like 30 miles an hour.
That's more likely to be
Yeah, exactly. And their milk is pink. So I guess an animal with blue milk isn't too far beyond the realms of possibility.
Can you imagine how fast they could run if they'd lost some weight?
Exactly. I really want to see a skinny hippo now.
Yeah.
Guess that's probably animal abuse.
Yeah, it's from Banthas. I had to look it up. Here we go. So this is from Wikipedia, the unofficial Star Wars kind of fandom. Blue milk, also known as bantha milk, I'll do it. Was a rich blue-coloured milk produced by female banthas. Sentients drank it and also used it in ice cream, butter, and yogurt. It's like,
not me.
Okay. That's like...
Can I make it into a sorbet?
You want to taste my bantha cream?
Blue milk was also a fundamental ingredient in blue milk custard. That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Why is no one buying my bantha custard?
Well, hold on. That would make ice cream really weird because obviously milk is white. So when you add any kind of... If you made, I don't know, grape flavoured ice cream.
Yeah,
it goes purple.
Okay.
Because it's white. So if you have blue milk and you add any... they have pears. We know they have pears.
Okay.
If you add pears to it, it's going to be a blue pear drink.
Yeah.
Unless there are other animals that make white
Is your
milk.
brain broken just from that concept?
Bit. I know also that blue milk was a term for... Because in one of the... Flicked on. One of the X-Wing novels, Wedge talks about a blue milk run, which is how we say like a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It's so simple you could do it whilst drinking blue milk, I think was the
okay. Or you could it's just like going down to the shop, it's that easy.
Yeah.
I thought that was
a milk run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least they didn't... At least it wasn't like completely derail your childhood drink. It's like, it's just milk with blue food colouring in.
Yeah.
I think it was, wasn't it? It's probably water.
Yeah.
Just water with
it wasn't made
cream.
by Banthas.
No.
Banthas aren't real.
No, there is that.
Fictitious, so we can drink it. Hey!
The elephants with rugs on.
Oh, I've got one. The big leg of zebra from Lion King.
There you go.
That looked juicy as fuck.
Yeah, I bet. I would go with dewback biltong.
Dewback biltong. I've had alligator biltong.
Yeah?
Okay. It was jerky.
I had
I've tried alligator jerky. Yeah.
I had beef biltong this morning, right? So there's a shop, I don't know if you've seen it, in Victoria Station that's like a South African deli and supermarket.
I haven't seen that, so it's been there since I haven't.
Pretty awesome. So they sell pre-packed, like this sort of thing, of biltong. And I usually go in and buy a couple of those every so often, just because they're really nice. I especially do it when I'm in the run-up to giving blood, because obviously it's good for protein build-up, iron build-up and all that. Today, I went there and there was a bit of cross wires at the beginning. So I went in and I said hello to the bloke behind the till, and I'd been in yesterday as well. Bought a couple of bags, and I was going to buy some more to top up my supply because I like to have a stash. Yeah. And
it's good when you're tabletop gaming as well, mate.
I can imagine,
at a good manageable level.
Yeah.
Eating sweets will give you a peak.
Plus, it's a relatively filling thing
absolutely.
as well.
Yeah. It will stave. I've eaten it while playing X-Wing tournaments.
Yeah.
Because it will stave, and beer sticks as well, because it staves off hunger until you have time for lunch.
Yes. So I went in there and said hello to the bloke behind the till, and like I said, I've been in there yesterday, and I said, "Oh, can I have some more bags of Biltong? Can I have?" And I ordered the flavours, and I didn't realise this. I wasn't paying attention because I went to the fridge and grabbed a drink. He'd pulled it from the fresh stuff rather than the pre-packed.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't realise this till he finished the first bag. But so by that point, I was like, you know what? I'll just take that. That's fine. It's a bit more expensive. But at the same time, I think it's also a significantly bigger bag. So, judging by how much I ended up having to fucking eat this morning, it was a significantly bigger bag.
So is it pre-packed like the brands that we can buy in like shops, or is it their stuff that they've pre-packed?
I think it's their stuff pre-packed.
Right, okay. And then they do one from the deli kind of
Yes,
thing. There's a shop called Magnates of Faversham that does the same sort of thing. Really nice jerky.
Yeah, it might be another company that supplies both. But anyway, so I bought the I sort of said, "Oh, sorry, I meant the pre-packed ones." He was, "Oh, okay." Then he starts putting away the thing. I was like, "You know what? I'll take the fresh one as well." And then he made me the rest from the pre-packed bags.
I love that we're using fresh for dried meat.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The moist stuff.
Yeah,
because the pre-packed
moist dry stuff.
Yeah, the pre-packed stuff dries out a little bit, whereas the deli stuff,
a little bit more moisture to it.
Yeah, a little bit more moisture.
Roman Army used to march on it. It's called hard tack. Used to have it like a brick.
Is that what it means?
Yes.
Okay. I've heard that phrase before.
To soften it up, the equine troops would put it under the horse saddle, and the sweat of the horse would soften it up so you could chew it.
Plus, it would taste a bit like horse, which is also awesome.
Exactly.
Chew it.
Chew it. So I get to work and I sit down at my desk and I open this bag of thing, and I've tried deli biltong for the first time. It is fucking incredible.
Far superior,
it's so good.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I'm gonna have to get you to grab me some.
A little bit fatty, and it's like it's greasy, a little bit greasy and stuff, and it's just so good. This one was chili chutney, so I'd have to get you
maybe something a little bit like a teriyaki or something,
like a garlic or a mild one.
Yeah, and you get that beef flavour comes off it more.
Yeah.
Tastes like a piece of roast beef.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's so
that
good.
real earthy, meaty flavour.
So good. So, yeah, do back biltong. Carved and dried, and maybe serve with the blue milk, who's to say. Yeah, that works. That's my answer.
Or a chaser of Corellian whiskey.
Yeah. To be honest, I get shit-faced on it, and then it doesn't matter what it tastes like.
In Bernard Cornwell's Excalibur, the Arthurian, Arthur series, Merlin eats a type of cheese that the way he describes the taste and the texture is not one piece of cheese.
Right.
He says it like he kind of explains it as like a kind of cheddary, creamy taste, but he describes it being very hard and brittle, which is often a very strong taste. So I want that, because he's obviously describing something not magical, but that book does a lot of things of going like, he pointed his staff at the mist and it went away. Well, I'm guessing he just knew how the weather was going to be.
Yeah.
That's how it does. So obviously he's got this recipe for a piece of cheese that seems magical to them, because it's, wow, it tastes like cheddar, but it looks like Stilton.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So that would be kind of fun to eat whatever he was eating.
Okay.
It points to a lot of the stuff that like he knows a lot of the stuff that people were calling magic.
Or it's gone off cheddar.
Yeah. A lot of stuff people call magic is actually stuff we've forgotten.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if I've always said the description that I can take a piece of paper and a pen, I can make marks on that piece of paper, and you can read my mind. You can tell me what I was thinking when I put those marks down.
That's art therapy, isn't it?
It's writing.
Yeah.
If I write elephant on a piece of paper, I was thinking of the big grey animal. If you describe that as making marks on a piece of paper, and not with me telling you, but you look at the marks I made, and you know what I was thinking at the second I made them, that sounds like magic. And that's kind of what he gets across in this book.
Okay.
So he was remembering technology and routines from an older age.
Gotcha.
He wasn't just going, I know what you're thinking. Big green, right?
Was it an elephant, Merlin?
It was like
was it an elephant with a rug on?
It was like when I was learning to do magic tricks. There's a load of things that are just...
sure.
When you would go, but you hit it up your sleeve. And, yep, that's the answer, but I'm not telling you that.
Yeah.
That's the way it's done, But if you don't know that, you'll keep guessing.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So so that's
good. We've covered that.
I think that's
well.
answered a good question. I think that's a good answer to that question. So I think that is time. It is time to bring this crazy train into the station and put the carriages to sleep for the night.
Rail it.
To rail it in.
Rail it in.
So thank you very much for listening to the Crazy Train episode 50.
Foreman has spaffed.
No, okay, apparently I'm not allowed to carry on.
No, it's not your podcast anymore. We have mutiny on the bounty. Mutiny on the bounty.
Thank you very much for listening to the Crazy Train episode 54.
Wow.
Bloody hell. Yeah, that's quite
Is that
something.
the name of the title, is it?
Bloody hell.
Episode 54.
Bloody hell. No, 54, I haven't decided yet. So, fun fact for the listeners, sometimes a phrase jumps out at me during recording that's instantly the episode title. Sometimes I mention it. Sometimes it just comes to me in the edit. So
Nice,
sometimes I just hear something
It's always
and
a
go,
surprise to us.
that'll work. It may end up just being railed.
Spell it like that.
Railed.
If this is your first episode, you've been railed.
Yeah, there you go.
You've been railed with a spoon, aren't you?
Rob will rail you with his...
Oh, Jesus.
You could have my sphincter.
Good.
And that was the joke earlier. I've forgotten, I'm tired.
So, thank you very much for
It's
listening.
11:30.
There is that. So, thank you very much for listening to the Crazy Train episode 54. If you've enjoyed the show, you can find us on iTunes, YouTube, and Stitcher, and you can subscribe to all of us there. You can also find everything else we do at emotionally14.com. Emotionally14 on Twitter. There's a Facebook page, Emotionally14. Any other social media?
Pretty much just type the 14s.
Pretty much, yeah.
Type the 14. I'm so tired. I was up at 4 a.m. this morning cleaning up my swimming pool in the front room.
We didn't get to that.
Yeah,
No,
you
just
didn't
real
tell
quick,
you
my
so.
little girl started sleeping in her own bed. And
Yeah.
about 4 o'clock in the morning, she normally walk into us. We get up at like 6, half 6 anyway.
Okay.
But when she came in at like 1:30, coming on 2, and I was like, that's not normal. And she was really upset, so I was like, okay, well, come in with us then.
Yeah.
That's fine. Normally, I'd just put her back. Anyway, woke up this morning. My missus didn't feel too great, so I was like, you stay in bed for a bit, and I'll go in the front room with Daisy. We'd chill out, watch some cartoons or something. Walked into her room to grab like her pillow for her to sit on, and we've got like skylights in the bathroom in her bedroom. And it had rained last night, but I kind of locked them so there's just a small gap. But the wind had completely opened them and poured in. And the reason she got so upset was because she was being rained on.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fair enough, sweetheart. Thank you. So I spent a good hour this morning trying to... But the best bit was, so I would go into the bathroom to grab the mop.
Yeah.
Which is under the window. So I've now got this fully sodden mop going, well, now what do I do?
I guess I get a full bucket of water and
Throw
really
it over my head.
throw it on myself and
Yeah, so that was my
reset.
story of making.
Okay.
That was why I was up so early this morning.
Yeah.
We
fair
live
enough.
under the sea now.
Yeah. So if you don't live under the sea, I don't know. I've got nothing.
If you
You
are
might
eager,
not be a crab
It's
from
late.
Jamaica.
Yeah, there you go. It's late. I've
Shiny.
not got no
It's the other
segues. So if you've enjoyed the show, there was the things I just did. Wind it back a couple of minutes and just listen
and
back
if,
to it. For
if you
fuck's sake,
think
I'm
this
not your
show
mum.
was
You're welcome.
Yeah.
if you think this show was good,
If the show is good, give us chuck us a review. Like I say, it's a nice way to get your podcast or your other things plugged if you have them. If you are interested in other British podcasts, we are part of the Britpod scene on Twitter and hashtag Britpod scene at Britpod scene.
I feel that needs to be abbreviated more.
BPS.
Penguin.
Yeah. At so you can find them at
It's like NaNoWriMo.
yeah. So you can find more about the other podcasts on the network as a part of the collective there. Also, obviously, you can find the other podcast, the E14 Gamecast, where we talk about GOMs. And guys, where can people find you on social media?
you can find me on Instagram under Harmer the Appreciator.
All right.
You
He
can
appreciates
find me,
things.
darn tootin'.
Does.
Sorry, we've gone back to the Western theme from earlier. You can enjoy it. You can obviously you can enjoy me on Twitter.
Fuck me.
You can fuck me on
You
Twitter.
can find me on Grindr.
Yeah, find me on Grindr.
Hammer the Appreciator.
Yeah, or at fuck's sake Blake.
Appreciate you with a
Fuck
spoon.
Blake's sake.
Yeah, fuck Blake Saki, and
Hammer the Gooch.
Touchy the Gucci.
yeah, you can find me on Twitter at fuck's sake Blake, and you can find me on Facebook if you try hard enough. Being might
Wow.
not, if you can succeed.
Yeah. That got creepy fast.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. I might just unfriend you now. Yeah, find me on Facebook as me. Come talk to me about nonsense. I like talking about nonsense.
Cool.
I am on Instagram as Can't Sleep Must Paint. where I chronicle my painty, moddy things. A lot of Star Wars X-Wing stuff, because that's mostly what I'm playing at the minute, but there are other things like Vikings and Gladiators and stuff on there.
Cool.
That's Can't Sleep Must Paint on Instagram. There is Can't Sleep Must Paint on Facebook as well, but that's, I wouldn't say it's dying, but I'm using Instagram a bit more because, getting a lot more feedback on it, so you kind of, feed the barky dog and all that stuff.
What the fuck?
If a dog's barking, you feed it.
Barky dog.
Feed the barky
You really don't like dogs, because I remember you last time you said don't feed a dog that can't do tricks. It will die.
Why
If
is
a
it
squeaky wheel comes on your face, you kick a dog right in the gooch.
And then fuck Blake Sacking.
Yeah. So Can't Sleep Must Paint is basically what we're getting at there.
Five Guys Fuck Blake.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Can't Sleep Must Fuck Blake.
Am I on anything else?
I
Just
don't know.
Google me.
Yeah.
If you type in Omer Ibrahim Wrestling, you get some pretty cool results.
Nice.
That's fun.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rob Wade Vision. Anything that's not Emotionally 14 related, you can find me over at Talk Star Wars.
Do it.
Do it. And do it. That's it, I think, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, with iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Britpod Scene. Did it again. 6 in a row now.
Yeah, I know.
Individuals.
Yeah, this flat.
This.
Want to give out the address?
No.
You sure?
Not for the last time, no.
123 Speedway.
Yeah, I'm on Noob Lane.
Nublain.
Noob Lane.
Hello, I am Jean Nublain.
From France.
In Spain.
Don't be racist, I'm from Lithuania. Nilpois.
Anyway.
Lithuania is in Spain.
Thank you very much. Thanks very much for listening.
Bye. What the fuck is wrong with
One
us?
day we'll have an outro.
If this is your first episode, this was also your last episode. Thanks very much. Goodbye.
Stick a spoon up your ass.
Right in there, touching my gooch.
Get railed.